and welcome to Stellaris. Let's play modded Stellaris, episode 1. So, I kind of, so I got like Battlefleet, Gothic, and like the Total War games from Warhammer. And I was like, you know what? I could make Let's Plays out of them by essentially... Come on, you worked better earlier. Okay, the second I start recording, it starts not playing as well. Why? Tell me why are you not okay? Origin. Oh, you're not a devouring swarm. Okay. But all these empires are empires that are automatically built by my various mods. So I have something like 300 mods, and they're not all active. There's a long face. Yeah, I don't know about Necro. Here's the thing. I wanted to test without Necroids to see if the game will work. Because I know some games don't like working. So, Stellaris modding is kind of weird because it feels to me like it's not like Minecraft where it's like, oh, this mod, oh, it doesn't work, that's fine. There's going to be like 1,000 others for the older version, whereas with this, I feel like the modding community seems to be kind of at odds with Paradox. Because, like, we have all these cool mods, but they, like, never get updated. Like, something like IC2 has been updated for, like, 10 years now, I think. Also, just a heads up, but it takes about 18 minutes, or like 17 minutes for this to load. So, and that's before loading a world. So yeah, my mod pack is basically based on Stellaris Reborn 2, which was an old, like, big mod pack that ended up just dying off because, like, one or two creators were like, get this out of your mod pack, you're a thief. And then, like, Paradox person was like, okay, shutting it down. So, which is a shame. I still have the mods installed, the mod pack itself, because I can't delete it from you. It's just marked like, hey, this doesn't work, even though it really does. But the problem is, a certain mod... Well, EHO, Event Horizon Offset Facility, at the time that the mod pack was made, was crashing the game like guaranteed because you were getting a, like, unlocking a level 3, like, offset facility while you still only had the level 1 unlocked, and that was, like, crashing the game. So... what I'm gonna do for this actually is I have two. So what's gonna happen is RSG is still gonna go on. I'm going to do these because I have these already designed. But then I'm gonna go through all these. I want it to be every single difficulty. So we're these things. Names are lost. We'll get to that. Name list, I'm just using humanoid. There's a lot of traits. So these are all the traits that we could have. There's positives and minuses. The RSG kind of goes into why that, because, I haven't really looked any tutorial that much. I've looked into a couple tutorials, but that's mostly for my friends to be like, okay, this is good information for them. And, yeah. But most of everything I know, I learned by myself, which is good. Okay. So we have, future spawns. These are species exiled from the far future. Why are they here and what happened to them? So it's minus 15% happiness, but 12.5% research for everything. Witness, members of the species witnessed some eldritch occurrence and understood what it is. So my people are not very happy. 7.5%, minus 2.5% unity, but 5% in research for everything, but that's a -1. Paragon is very versatile. So plus 10% from all jobs, plus 7.5% research from worker jobs, 7% have ability, plus 1 later level cap, plus 10 years leader lifespan, plus 20% army damage. That does not adapt well to 4 environments. This is one I always like to use. Because it's like, you know, you can terraform or you can eventually just, you know, get so much. So, closed-minded. These minds speed awarded from sonic power. Also sense emotion even through forceful means. Which means minus 30% unity, minus 5% society, 10% governing ethics. Governing ethics I found out are pretty important. Because essentially what it does is, it means that you're you have a more stable empire, because, you know, otherwise you'll have, like, groups that don't like you and all that stuff. By the way, my food is about to be here, so let me go get ready. But I'm gonna get the food, I'm gonna talk about all this stuff, and then I'm gonna start it. Okay, so I actually want to change the Navier thing. I might go with that because apparently things are more difficult now. So I'm going with a frozen because you get more. So basically how this works, so these are a lot of variants, and then there's some rare planets. And then there's some exotics which have like troublesome, like you know, I've seen like I think methane worlds, and they're annoying because you need to have a species that already has the methane like adaptability, because you can't like well, you might be able to genetically modify into it. I think I checked into that and it didn't seem to work, but you might need the genetic you know, you might need the the genetic final whatever it's called path. But I went with frozen because frozen tends to have more like resources, wet is more food, and dry is more energy, I think, because, you know. See, so these are the city appearances. It doesn't really matter because I chose Machine City. It doesn't matter because it changes the backgrounds. This is just our main background. So the origins. These are all the origins that are modded in. I will be doing at least one thing from all of this. Necrophage requires Necroid, but everything else is normal. We're doing Mirror of Calignicity. This is the hardest one. Inflection Point's also a really good one. My food should be right about here, though. Okay. There's an Alderson Disca. But yeah, so essentially the civilization once dominated the whole galaxy, surrounding powerful nation, yet the horrific Calignosity. Which Calignosity is a fancy word, it's a thesaurus word for like darkness. Remnants, hence Remnant Accord, and lost escorted. The last fleet of the Empire had managed to escape, thus preventing this civilization from extinction. After millions of years of space vagrancy, they managed to find a new galaxy to settle down. New home planet is too tiny and small to fill all the population. At least a new life can begin soon. The galaxy doesn't seem to disappear at all. She is right after them. So you start with 80 technologies. The system is protected by a remnant of an Empire fleet, which means you have 4, like 10k little like defense emplacements, and you get a juggernaut. So we're crowded with billions and billions of refugees. Get more resources at the beginning of the game. Gain access to a few buildings with black technology that is lost forever. So essentially, you can like expand in certain ways. So you can get an Ecumenopolis, you can get megastructures early, but you're not really gonna have the resources for it. So it's kind of not that good. You can get like Colossi, but something very, 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 very bad will happen between 5 to 10 years. So I'll just spoil it. Well, actually, let's not spoil it for you. But yeah. So the government, I'm chosen an imperial government with dreadnought with fanatic militarist. You can choose 5 now: fanatic militarist, fanatic authoritarian, and normal materialist. Because I like the edict capacity also. Dreadnought tactics. Our nation's navy have simple ideas in mind. Have a simple ideal in mind. Build everything huge, strap big guns on it, and make it as much as possible. So yeah, everything's slower. But 20% damage, minus 20% chip upkeep, 50 in naval capacity. Naval traditions, a deep ingrained tradition of glorious military fleet. Ship rate, 10% fleet command, 10 ship upkeep, minus 10%. War engineering society have strong traditions of military industry and warfare. Warships and guns are traditionally best, but expensive. 5% damage, 10% HP or armor hit points, 15% sublight speed, so that gets rid of that almost gets rid of dreadnought, and research speed for propulsion is 33%, but my 20% ship build cost. Visor is authoritarianist. Empire name is Remnant Accord. We are the remaining. So I like to think that, this is like the previous nations all coming together. Yeah, so that no appearance thing actually is different. This I'm worried about, but I'm going to do Strega ships, which is weird because it used to be called Kuragane, but it is now Strega, which means it might have updated. And then, meal, I guess. I don't know. So that is different than the Remnant Core and the RSG. Next. Done. Okay. So we're doing 1,750 stars. Spiral. These are generally... So, Crisis Strength. Five times for some reason. See, this is what I don't understand. Why is it like this now? Difficulty, I'm putting it at easiest. I'm missing with that stuff. Iron Man. I think you want to do Bronze Man. Because the problem is, if it bugs out, then we're done. So we'll see how this goes. And then there's a bunch of options in the game. But anyways, I gotta go eat my food, so I'll see you after it's loaded and I'm done. Alright. Oh boy. I'm in the I'm almost gonna throw up phase of after eating. Which is probably because I don't eat at all during the rest of the day. And then I only eat like once, and then, Also, yeah, if you all of that Empire Sprawl is all her population. We are shattered, you're we not broken. Our Empire once dominated the whole galaxy, determining the fate of hundreds of other nations and species. Cognicity has consumed most of the things you possessed. Left nothing but a small portion of us who struggle to survive. We travel across billions of light years searching for a new home, where our cognicity doesn't exist before the depletion of energy, and now we are here, very lucky. Despised The new capital to be too small to fill in all our population, we can at least begin a new life. This year's space travel has caused us to lose most of the technology we possess. We will fight again in this new galaxy to reclaim what we have lost in the previous one. While the final question remains, does the Calagnostically truly disappear? Okay. So, yeah, randomized. So you saw all those things with, like, the ice and all that stuff. Now they're randomized. So using my mod. So this is, for the machines and synthetic empires. So this. The, Gigastructure has decided to just make itself, like, something more than it was before. It's no longer just, like, a normal thing. I don't know what that even means. I'm thinking I want to do... So that's something new. I'm going to have it so the EHOF can't be built by the AI. Because it gets a little annoying. And I want it to be so that all of it... Guaranteed impossible. That's fine. Oh, there we go. Also, I have a lot of different music that I have something like 20 to 30 music things. I'm doing 25 times. It has been a couple months since I last played Stellaris. But yeah, so essentially, we have these vaults, which I'm not 100% sure what they do, because I've never had an issue. This is... these are colony ships. These are... well, those are colony ships. I don't know. Some more colony ships, I guess? I don't know. This is... so you start with a Juggernaut from the very beginning, but it is a really weak Juggernaut. So that's a colony ship. Okay. Never mind. So it's just starting with defensive for strikes. Should make sense. Ion. I'm wondering if a certain mod is disabled now, because there was a mod that basically made it so that you had like well, we can check actually pretty easily. Dark matter reactor, gravitic sensors, combat computer. So basically, so that's like end game, but that's just a tier 2 sensor, just a tier 2 combat thing, a 1 hyperdrive, 2 iron thruster. No extra large weapons, some, basic strike craft, medium coil guns, a disruptor, some fusion missiles, some blue lasers, some coil guns, and some flight batteries. So, and then like level 2 deflectors and ceramo metal and ox fire controls. So you can essentially just like see some of the research that we have. So this is also new. Apparently Gigastructures now has its own achievement center now. So I'm going to start the game. It'll generate like once the first day passes, it'll do that, which is like, okay. So Infinite Stellaris, I do that because it gives us this. That is new. So they updated this stuff. I just want you the performance. There we go. So I think that's fine. I don't know. Where do we spawn? Okay, this is a potentially dangerous spawn. Oh, no, this is the eco-ecology. Okay. So it looks like no one can really mess with it then. Really. That's weird. But yeah, I say this is a potentially dangerous spawn. Because we could have, first of all, we're not in a nebula, so that's a little bit of a problem. But the fact that, okay, so those guys won't move. But and it looks like if we have a fairly strong position in here. Can have like some star bases there and some star bases there. We have a bunch of habitable worlds. Yeah, that's a great, okay, that's cool. We got a graveyard anyways. But I think they're aggressive if I don't handle them or something. We can bypass that. So, Arctic world, Atoll, graveyard, Oasis, and an Antarctic, and then eco-ecology. We only know of ourselves. There are some hieroglyphics. We're strongest minus the Fallen Empires. There's 5 of them. There's our market. These are our planets and sectors. We only have the Bastion sector. Okay, researched. These are all the things we have. So we have Bear Point, Disruptors, Blue Lasers, Inhibitors, which are going to be super important. Hyperdrives, Capacity, all of this stuff. . So we have a destroyer already. You know what? I didn't even realize that, yeah, some of that's starting tech. So generally, I always end up with a bunch of research. Also, our people are very unhappy right now, which they always are. Bastion has low stability. But we basically have a cache ambry, which means we have +1 for relics. Overall, the ancient native empire saved from the previous catastrophe was saved. So I slowly started recovering this data. We can accelerate progress of technology and regain reactor. And the fleet arrived in this new home system a dozen of years ago. Many of them were nearly damaged or nearly destroyed and broken, probably. Discarding them will, of course, be a huge waste. Thus, they dismantled and reconstructing a single massive reactor. Forsaken mainframe, powerful factory that is able to build tons of rare resources crucial for space survival. And used to exist everywhere in Empire now is less of its kind due to the loss of black technology forever and ever. And then we just have the stuff from remove. Now there is something weird with the music player, and that's this. I don't know why this happens, because there is music in there, it just doesn't look like it for some reason. So we have rulers, so they are now an engineer. We have hieroglyphics. We start with an ascension perk, and you might notice something a little different. So, by the way, a lot of this is if you were just watching the RSG, because it takes like 80 episodes, so you hit the end of it. And yeah, this does have a limit, because I'll keep on doing this over and over again, but steadily increasing the difficulty. So you have Academy, Administratum, Aesthetics, Archivist, Chivalry, Commerce, Cybernetics, Diplomacy, Discovery, Domination, Expansion, Faith, Foundation, Friendship, Harmony, Greed, Industry, Proselytism, Justice, Liberty, Mechanicum, Militarism, Mystery, Nature, Order, Piracy, Prosperity, Spaceborne, Mercy, and then Collective Individual. And it depends if you're either a hive mind or whatnot. Be different. So let's see. So one of the things I had issues with is yeah, so Great Fleet. The command limit and the capacity. I like to have it as there's one flagship, and then however many Titans we need, and then so on and so forth. But you can't do that normally. So because it can't last that long, and you can usually only have one yeah, so you can see no flagships right there, one flagship and all that stuff. So yeah, and there's a couple more. So, we gotta get the technological ascendancy. And that would have been indistinguishable from magic mirror generation, go now within a reach, and new generation has begun. Be 10%, or technology up here 1.5 times all right. We'll change 1% chance to 1.5% chance, yeah. That's your standard basic one. And yeah, so it's a little bit different. So energy, minerals, food, alloys, and consumer goods. And then you got motes, exotic gases, rare crystals, living metal. Which I've never done anything with living metal because I haven't played a game ever long enough to I've gotten living metal plenty of times, but it's never been enough to sustain, to actually be used in anything. Dark matter, zero, nanites, and minor artifacts. So you might notice that's a little different. Unity, influence, physics, you know, the research. But then you have that. So in addition to that, we have larva, which is only for the hive stuff. Animatic energy, gravitic anomalies, living crystals, psionic charge, transdimensional vortexes, quasi-negative mass, sentient metal, disium crystals, Planck protons, quasaric energy, psionic supplement, illudium, or Acene crystals, rad, bloom, sap, link capacity, which we don't have to deal with either, star core, and Illunia. Most of those I have never, or half of them I've never seen. Empire stuff, population, or envoys, starbase capacity, and then naval capacity. Also, you're probably going to see me doing that a lot because I was like, oh, this is music, I don't know what that is. It's cool, let me look at it. For no reason. Then this is also different. This is very different. So, I have civilian ships off because it really lags your game. But for so I don't know why I haven't removed the mod, but it's one of those things like I have a couple mods that you just can't get anymore ever because they've been removed in the workshop. So like that big mod pack. So diplomatic stances, you can do belligerent, cooperative, isolationist, expansionist, supremacist. That is probably good. Well, here's the thing. They're probably going to resettle themselves, actually. I like to do peaceful. Yep, that's me. I want to do Marketplace of Ideas because it's Unity and that lets me increase my stuff. Work workers will be allowed. Refugees are always welcome. Population controls. I don't actually mess with that a lot. Here's the thing. I don't mess with these ever. Because I'm always like very like, you know, one of these days I'm gonna play super like well, we're gonna do like either as an extreme slave state or like something to that. Investment. Oh, let's get done. Let's get the rubber stamping done early. Oh, why should we not make good use of access only because they happen to work in business? I love using trillium outside and more skills that are actually useful. Trust, I think, has to do... Trust is with populations that we, like, enslave or stuff like that. Or not enslave, but, you know. We make part of ours. It makes them so that they start contributing. And I think it makes them happier faster. And surveys don't come cheap, but they won't undermine our power. We stay on our terms. Police... Because here's the thing. Okay. Because since we're easy, since we're cadet running, this stuff is gonna matter a lot more later. We don't have, crime, prison management. Good idea, 6 death penalty and less severe actions. Yeah, why not? Private is the span by 15, but workers are not happy. Has half the upkeep and produce additional unity. Mix just keeps it standard. Freedom of birth. Again, I'm building a very idealist area. Well, to some effect, you know. Freedom of belief, we can't do that for some reason, but secularism. Propaganda. Yeah, because a lot of it is I can't do because I choose authoritarianism, but I'm choosing, like, nice authoritarianism, I guess. Fine with migration, drug legislation. Oh, it is the soul of our nation. It's not forbidden, but I don't need to pass some basic tests. Yes. Let's give our 6-year-olds AR-15s, you know? And walk them into our capitals, right, Otto? I'm always big fleet. Fleet quality, I always want it to be the highest quality. And light offensive. Gambling is state controlled. Yeah. Because we get more money. See, I don't know how I feel about gambling, because I feel, well, obviously, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to partake in it, but it ruins a lot of people's lives. And by extension, it actually damages me, too. Because, and, you know, this is a little out of the way, but, like, I'm thinking, like, specifically RuneScape. There was a RuneScape thing about, like, how, like, 2019 they got called into, like, the UK Chambers of Commerce or whatever. Or, like, the Parliament, I think. Something like that. Some high official thing. They were not happy with them. Because it's essentially like, you know, there's a couple people who spend like the 5,000 each month or whatever for the, you know, the treasure hunter and stuff like that, which I don't understand. But, you know, it's making like Parliament not happy with JGX, which is not good for me, because if they get shut down, then we got a problem there. Surveillance. Here's the thing. I feel like I'm, like, in a way, just, Big Brother is watching. I always do only slave, because I don't have slaves. So it doesn't seem like, let me see. Oh. I always like centralized authority because it's more influence. Education. Yeah, we need less pop growth. So weapons. I always believe in limited. I would like to keep that standard. We can't mess with that, though. You unlock those eventually. Okay, here's the thing. So I always went with artificial intelligence crews because of the naval capacity increase. But we have infinite naval capacity now. So and then I always do ruthless. Then we have our edicts. So we can do fleet supremacy. You know, we can do all of that stuff. Then we can do these, which I believe are free. Yeah, because they're not one of those. Oh, that's to complete the thing. Yeah, so we can do resource recycle or anti-piracy. And that's the hobby thing. So often our leader will get a new hobby and it'll like wipe their old hobby, or like I don't know if they can have multiple hobby. I'm not fully aware of how this stuff works. We'll get to that. Oh. Relics, we don't have anything. You can get more relics, thank goodness. I found that out. Then we have our ships. So what I've done in previous things was I would like make a big sticky note of all our upgrades. I'm not going to do that anymore because that really weakens me. Because it'll be like, oh, here's all these Titan, I have a flagship, I have Titans, I have, all these ships and all that stuff. But I'm using, I'm literally just, but I'm literally running a bunch of ships. Like flagships that have literally no weapons on them. Because I'm still, I'm like 10, well, I'm literally like 100 technologies behind. So I'm not going to do that anymore. But, so what this does is we have a whole bunch more of options because of this. But yeah, these things don't actually have guns, like actual gun models yet. And they probably won't. Here's the thing, I don't want to upgrade my ships, actually. Got our fleets. We don't have our factions yet. So first thing I need to do Oh. So that's one of the mods I have is automatic expiration. And I want you to evade. Even if it causes problems. Now, I want to grow fairly slowly because we have so much of this. But just a heads up, this basically dissolves into literally just me being in the ship designer all day. So get ready for that. Anyway, so enjoy the city, know what to do. See ya.